All right, so it's time now to learn some iterator functions like SUMX, rankx. So let's get started. Okay, so what is SUMX function? I will show you with practical example. So let's say I want to take the total revenue. So we already have a total revenue field that we have created, if you remember. So we have created this revenue, and let's say I want to take the total revenue. For that, what I will do is I will create a new measure. I will name it as total revenue. Maybe total revenue is already created or what? Yeah, so total revenue is already created. I'm sorry for that. So I will see this total revenue. You see, this is AW sales of revenue. This is the column. Now where SUMX comes into the picture is basically if I use SUMX function instead of sum, what will happen? Let me show you. So first let's look at what is the formula behind this revenue column. So revenue column is retail price multiplied by the order quantity. Now we will create a SUMX function. Okay, so I will name it total revenue. So we already have a revenue column, revenue measure also we already have. Now let's name it as SUMX. Okay, just to understand, just to differ them. Now here instead of sum, we will use SUMX and see what it is telling you. First, it is asking for the table. What is my table in here? My table is AW sales. First, I will put the table, and then it is asking for the expression. So what is the expression? So here I will put the expression as retail price multiplied by the order quantity. So my expression here should be the revenue formula itself that we have used. So I will take retail price here and multiply it with the order quantity. Where is my order quantity? I will take the order quantity, close the bracket, hit enter. Now let's see what is the difference between these two measures. Let's quickly plot them. I will just make it a little bit short. I will create a card and I will copy paste it beside, and then I will take the total revenue in here, and then here I will take the total revenue which is used by the SUMX. You see, do you see any difference? Let me just remove this M. So for that, what you can do, you can go to the sell out values, and then you can go to the call out values as call out values. Okay, and then what you can do is basically the display unit, you can change it to none. If you do it, you see the numbers are exactly same. Now what SUMX really did is basically SUMX removed one step from our measures. So first what we were doing was we were creating this revenue field, and then we were taking the sum of total revenue. That is two-step process. Now if we don't use this column, let's now delete this column and see what happens. I will delete this revenue column and let's see what happens. I will delete it and I will go here. You see, this is not working because the sum of revenue, the revenue field is not there right now. But if you see this one, this is still working because this doesn't even need the revenue column, because here in the expression we have already mentioned that okay, so this is our revenue field, and from here you need to take the sum of this. So this is how the SUMX actually works. So you have already seen this. Now there is another interesting thing in the SUMX function, or in the iterator functions you can say. Now if I go to the data view, you see there is a retail price also that is created using the related function. Now what if we don't even want to pull this first and then we create this sum function? We don't really need that. So for that, what we can do is, instead of this retail price, instead of pulling this here, what we can do, we will simply delete it first from the table. Okay, first let's keep it and then we will see what happens. So first I'm keeping it and then I will create another. So my total revenue is already created. So here I will make this SUMX. Let's make it SUMX. And then the way I was doing was basically, first I will keep the AW sales as table, and then what I was doing was basically taking the order quantity here, and then I was multiplying it with the retail price. But what I said, we really don't want to take this retail in the sales AW sales data. So for that, what we can do, we will use the related function. Simple. We will use the related function here instead of the retail price column. So I will take the related function, and from where we were taking, let's quickly see from where we were taking this retail price column. So we were taking it from the AW products lookup. So I will copy this one from here. I will copy this. I will go back to my measure, and here I will put it in the middle, and I will hit enter. Now let's see what happens. Now here you see the total revenue is working, which is not even taking the retail price column from this data. Now I will go to my data and I will delete this column, and let's see what happens. You see, I'm deleting this two column. That means I'm actually removing two steps. First, the retail price, and then the revenue. You know what it does? It actually optimizes your dashboard. It makes your dashboard fast. So that's what it does. And you see, now this measure is not working because we don't have the retail price column. You see, there is a red underline, and this revenue, this measure, which is my total revenue, has no issues. This is how you can actually use the SUMX function. SUMX function actually removes your steps, hence your dashboard is optimized.